the sweet designs of God. He set me apart before I was born and called me by His grace. Galatians 1:15. Ponder the conversion of Paul, the sovereignty of Christ, and what Paul's sins have to do with your salvation. Paul said that God set me apart before I was born, and then years later on the Damascus Road, called me by His grace, Galatians 1:15. This means that between Paul's birth and his call on the Damascus Road, he was an already chosen, not yet called instrument of God. Acts 9:15, 22:14. This means that Paul was beating and imprisoning and murdering Christians as a God-chosen, soon-to-be-made Christian missionary. As I was on my way and drew near to Damascus, about noon, a great light from heaven suddenly shone around me, and I fell to the ground and heard a voice saying to me, "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" Acts 22:6-7. There was no denying or escaping it. God had chosen him for this before he was born, and now He would take him. The word of Christ was sovereign. There was no negotiating. Rise, go into Damascus. There you will be told all that is appointed for you to do. Acts 22:10. Damascus was not Paul's final free will yielding to Christ after decades of futile divine effort to save him. No. God had a time for choosing him before he was born and a time for calling him on the Damascus Road. God called, and the call produced the yielding. Therefore, the sins that God permitted between Paul's birth and his calling were part of the plan, since God could have called him sooner. Do we have any idea what the plan for those sins might have been? Yes, we do. They were permitted for you and me, and for all who fear that they might have sinned themselves out of grace. Here's the way Paul relates his sins to your hope. Formerly, I was a blasphemer, persecutor, and insolent opponent. But I received mercy for this reason, that in me as the foremost, Jesus Christ might display his perfect patience as an example to those who were to believe in him for eternal life. 1 Timothy 1:13 and 16. Oh, how sweet are the designs of God in the sovereign salvation of hardened, hopeless sinners.